Welcome to this explainer. You know, when you sit down to watch a top-tier football match, your eyes are just naturally drawn to the ball, right? The incredible passes, the spectacular goals. You probably also notice the massive stadium sponsors, or those huge logos plastered right across the front of the team's kits. But what if I told you that the real high-stakes action, the most fiercely contested financial territory on the entire pitch, isn't in the scoreline, and it's not even on the shirts, it's actually right down at the players' feet. Hiding in plain sight on the football pitch is this massive, multi-million-dollar corporate battle. And today, we're going to unpack exactly how the global sportswear industry fights for absolute commercial supremacy, looking at one of the most fascinating and highly secretive endorsement pursuits in recent sports business history. So, it all boils down to this central mystery. Why is one 24-year-old footballer triggering a massive corporate bidding war? And just to be super clear here, we aren't talking about rival clubs fighting over a transfer fee. No, we are talking about a seemingly simple shoe sponsorship that has somehow escalated into a high-stakes draft for the global sportswear industry's absolute titans. The battle to get a proprietary logo onto a specific pair of boots has literally never been fiercer. And honestly, the sheer amount of capital being thrown around just to secure a few square inches of leather and synthetic mesh is absolutely staggering. Section 1, the target, Michael Olise. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand this global corporate frenzy, we have to look at Bayern Munich and France winger Michael Olise. He represents the absolute pinnacle of modern football's youth movement right now. Following a massive, highly publicized transfer to one of the biggest clubs in Germany and locking down his spot on the French national team, his visibility has absolutely skyrocketed. Millions of global viewers are tuning in to watch him in the Champions League every single week. But what makes Olise's situation so incredibly unique is his status. He is currently a footwear free agent. Now, in the highest echelons of modern football, that is exceptionally rare. Usually, the world's leading sportswear brands have entire scouting departments whose sole job is locking youth academy players into these restrictive, long-term endorsement agreements when they're like 15 or 16 years old. But despite his phenomenal rise in European football, Olise has managed to navigate his career to a point where he's competing at the absolute highest level without being tied down to an exclusive footwear partner. Operating at a world-class level without a boot deal is basically the equivalent of owning prime digital real estate and running zero advertisements on it. So naturally, this unprecedented availability has caught the attention of some incredibly deep pockets. Section 2, a high-stakes bidding war. So, major brands are now caught in an all-out corporate sprint. They are absolutely desperate to secure his commercial rights before his market value skyrockets even further. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how open this battle has become. We have a direct, public disclosure from Adidas chief executive Bjorn Gulden, made during an appearance in New York, plainly stating that Adidas has publicly identified Michael Olise as a priority commercial target. In the highly secretive world of sports marketing, executives practically never broadcast their endorsement targets like this. They usually deny everything just to maintain some leverage in negotiations. The fact that the CEO of one of the world's largest sportswear manufacturers is openly declaring their pursuit, that highlights an incredible level of ambition. It proves exactly how highly they value his signature, and it loudly signals to the market that they are fully prepared to open the checkbook. But Adidas definitely isn't the only major player on the field here. What we're witnessing is a fascinating clash of corporate strategies. On one side, you have Adidas, utilizing this aggressive, highly public confirmation of interest to stake their claim and maybe put a little pressure on the athletes' camp. But on the other side, we have Nike, who is deploying a much more covert, stealthy approach. There have been reports surfacing that Olise has been recently spotted training in completely unreleased prototype Nike boots. It's just a brilliant clash of tactics. You've got the loud public declaration from the boardroom going head-to-head with the quiet, behind-the-scenes product testing on the training ground. And it's all designed to woo one single athlete. Section 3, the business behind boots. So why go through all this trouble? Let's zoom out from the player for a moment and look at the broader ecosystem. Why does this matter so much to the bottom line of these massive, publicly traded corporations? Why do the C-suite executives actually care about a 24-year-old's cleats? Well, securing a superstar is about a whole lot more than just slapping a logo on a shoe. It triggers a highly lucrative chain reaction. Let's walk through this pipeline really quickly. Step 1. An elite footballer directly influences boot sales worldwide. It's simple. Young fans playing in grassroots leagues inherently want to wear exactly what their heroes wear. That leads to step 2. Footwear loyalty naturally bleeds over into driving broader apparel demand. We're talking high-margin items like team shirts, tracksuits, and everyday lifestyle athleisure gear. Then, step 3. These athletes massively boost digital engagement. Every single time Olise scores a sensational goal or posts online, millions of eyes are on him and by extension, his sponsor. And finally, step 4, it secures global brand positioning. These players aren't just athletes anymore. They are walking, running, goal-scoring global marketing assets capable of penetrating markets in Europe, Asia, and North America all at the exact same time. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why Michael Olise is the perfect ingredient for this commercial recipe. Let's break down his specific commercial value profile. First off, he has a rapidly growing international profile, which has been elevated immensely by his high-profile play for Bayern Munich and the French national team. Second, he possesses a really distinctive personal style that resonates well beyond the pitch. He's got this quiet coolness, a unique aesthetic that perfectly fit the high-fashion streetwear crossovers that sportswear brands are relying so heavily on right now. And third, he has massive, organic appeal to younger audiences. When you combine those three things, global visibility, cultural relevance, and youth penetration, you get the ultimate ambassador for premium product launches and massive global advertising campaigns. Section 4. Football's new commercial era. Let's move to and see how this builds into an even larger macroeconomic shift across the entire sporting world, because we are really witnessing a fundamental change in how global brands allocate their marketing budgets. We're seeing a stark contrast in how the game has changed. Think about the old commercial cycle. Brands used to wait to invest heavily in established veterans much later in their careers, often waiting until a player actually won major trophies or proved themselves over several seasons. It was just a safer bet. But now, look at the new commercial cycle. Driven by major catalysts like the upcoming, newly expanded FIFA World Cup and an absolute explosion in digital fan engagement, brands are now forced to invest in youth a full decade earlier. The competition is so incredibly fierce that companies must aggressively scout and secure the athletes who are expected to become the faces of football for the next 10 years, walking them down way before they hit their ultimate athletic or commercial peak. So, what is the ultimate takeaway here? Simply put, athlete branding is no longer just a marketing expense. It's a long-term strategic investment. Adidas' incredibly public pursuit of Olise, alongside Nike's covert countermeasures, really proves that signing these young global stars is fundamentally about securing a deep competitive moat. Securing an athlete's signature today is about locking down commercial influence that delivers financial returns far beyond the physical boundaries of the football pitch. It's about capturing audience loyalty for years, if not decades to come. Which leaves us with this final thought. The outcome of the Michael Olise bidding war is going to be closely monitored across the entire sports marketing industry. It's undoubtedly going to set a precedent for how global footwear giants compete for talent moving forward. So the next time you watch a match, I challenge you to look down at the player's boots, because every camera pan, every slow-motion replay of a strike actually reveals a high-stakes corporate battle hiding right there in plain sight. With brands investing earlier, heavier, and more aggressively than ever before, we have to ask, who will be the next billion-dollar billboard? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes on the pitch.